everybody needed a catharsis on that show. We were together for 9 years, and that's why we blew it up. That plus the fact I didn't want anybody making a trashy movie at Walnut Grove.
Picture this: the beloved town of Walnut Grove, home to the Ingalls family, reduced to rubble in a fiery explosion. That's how Little House on the Prairie ended, and it's a story you've never heard before. Why did Michael Landon, the man who brought Charles Ingalls to life, choose such a dramatic farewell? And what does it reveal about the heart of a show that defined family for millions? From behind-the-scenes betrayal to a final act of defiance, this is the untold truth behind one of TV's most cherished and shocking goodbyes. Stay with us as we uncover the secrets of the Prairie's last stand. For decades, fans have been left wondering, why did Little House on the Prairie, a cornerstone of American television, end in such a shocking, explosive way? The truth, as Michael Landon later revealed, is far more layered than anyone expected, blending creative choices with behind-the-scenes tensions. Picture this: it's the 1970s, a time before streaming platforms or viral videos, when families huddled around their TVs for a show that felt like a warm embrace. Little House on the Prairie, inspired by Laura Ingalls Wilder's beloved books, brought the Ingalls family's frontier life to millions. At its heart was Charles Ingalls, portrayed by Michael Landon, a figure of strength and compassion who became a household name. When the show premiered in 1974, it struck a chord. Families watched the Ingalls face blizzards, heartbreak, and triumphs in Walnut Grove, Minnesota, always anchored by love and faith. Unlike many shows of its era, it didn't shy away from heavy topics, think prejudice, addiction, or poverty, but handled them with a gentle touch that left viewers moved, not overwhelmed. Episodes like Plague, where a deadly typhus outbreak gripped the town, or Sylvia, which sensitively tackled assault, showed its bold storytelling. Screen Rant. These stories weren't just entertainment. They were lessons in resilience that lingered long after the credits rolled. Could a show this heartfelt really face a bitter end? Spanning 9 seasons and 204 episodes, Little House on the Prairie became a television titan. At its peak in Season 4, it ranked 7th in Nielsen ratings, NBC's top show that year, Wikipedia. But by Season 9, it had slipped to 28th, a sign that even beloved shows face challenges. Reddit. Fans assumed it would run forever, but the end came abruptly, and with a literal bang. Why would a show so cherished close with such drama? The answer lies not just in numbers, but in the man who shaped it. Michael Landon wasn't just Charles Ingalls. He was the show's soul. As writer, director, and executive producer, he poured his heart into every episode. His vision, rooted in family, faith, and moral strength, made the series what it was. But what drove this man to create such a legacy? Born Eugene Maurice Orowitz in 1936 in Queens, New York, Landon's early life was far from idyllic. His mother's emotional struggles cast a shadow over his childhood, shaping his sensitivity and drive. Wikipedia. A brief athletic career ended with an injury, pushing him toward acting. His role as Little Joe Cartwright on Bonanza made him a star, but Little House was where he truly shone, directing 90 of 205 episodes. Cheat sheet. On set, Landon was a leader with a dual nature. To young actors like Melissa Gilbert, who played Laura, he was a father figure, guiding them with warmth and wisdom. Gilbert once said he was more than a TV dad, Fox News. Yet, his need for control could stir tension. Some cast members found his last-minute script changes frustrating, feeling their voices were sidelined. Still, the result was undeniable. Episodes that felt authentic and deeply human. But could these tensions have played a role in the show's end? As the series progressed, the Ingalls children grew, and new characters joined the story. The narrative evolved, but so did the challenges. Ratings, once soaring, began to wane. Landon himself sensed the story's natural conclusion. In a 1984 interview, he reflected, "I didn't think a married woman should still be coming to her father for advice," referring to Laura's growth into adulthood, The New York Times. He added, "When we started this show, we never imagined it would last this long." Was the show simply running out of steam, or was something else at play? Behind the scenes, the set wasn't always as harmonious as Walnut Grove appeared. Salary disputes, like the one between Landon and Karen Grassel, who played Caroline, created friction. Landon's personal life added complexity. His divorce and new relationship with makeup artist Cindy Clerico stirred the cast, many of whom were close to his ex-wife, now to love. Yet the cast's bond held strong, much like the Ingalls family they portrayed. Did these personal dynamics influence the show's fate? The show's setting added to its magic, though it wasn't filmed in Minnesota. Big Sky Ranch in Simi Valley, California, stood in for Walnut Grove. With its rolling hills and scorching summers, actress Allison Arngrim once fainted from the heat. Looper. Interior scenes came to life at Paramount Studios. This contrast between the idyllic screen world and the real-life challenges of filming mirrored the show's own duality, heartwarming yet complex. The final blow came from NBC. Melissa Gilbert revealed Landon was furious when the network failed to personally notify him of the cancellation, a move he found disrespectful. People. In response, he made a bold choice. The finale, The Last Farewell, saw Walnut Grove destroyed with TNT, a symbolic end to ensure no one could revive the show in his continuity. Quora. Was this a creative decision or a statement of defiance? The golden years of Little House on the Prairie, as we explored in Part 1, painted a picture of a show that captured America's heart with its tales of family and resilience. But as the 1970s melted into the 1980s, the television world began to change. Viewers craved high-octane dramas, stories that pulsed with action and intensity. NBC, eager to keep pace, leaned on Michael Landon to shake things up, to make Little House flashier, more modern. Landon, however, wasn't swayed. To him, the show's soul lay in its quiet moments. The Ingalls family gathered around a flickering lamp, facing life's trials with love and faith. Compromising that for ratings felt like a betrayal. But standing his ground came at a cost, setting the stage for conflicts that would ripple through the set. What would happen when the man who held the show together faced pressure from all sides? These tensions weren't just with the network. On set, the cast, once a tight-knit family, began to feel the strain. Karen Grassel, who brought warmth and strength to Caroline Ingalls, found herself at odds with Landon. In a 2021 interview, she shared a painful memory. When she sought a raise before the second season, Landon reportedly dismissed her, saying her character wasn't popular enough to justify it. Remind Magazine. The words cut deep, and Grassel felt her role shrink in later seasons, with storylines increasingly centered on Charles and Laura. It wasn't that Landon meant to exclude her. He was fiercely focused on his vision. But the impact was real. Other actors, too, noticed their characters fading into the background, a subtle shift that sparked quiet frustrations. Could the family spirit of Walnut Grove survive these growing divides? The show's grueling schedule didn't help. Landon was a force of nature, juggling roles as actor, writer, director, and producer. His relentless drive, directing 90 of the show's 205 episodes, set a high bar, cheat sheet. He expected the same from his team, fostering a sense of unity, but also exhaustion. Long days under the California sun at Big Sky Ranch, where the show was filmed, left some cast members drained. Melora Hardin, a young actress who appeared in several episodes, later recalled Landon's golden rule: no negativity allowed on set. He created a respectful environment, she said, but it was intense. Fox News. The pressure to deliver heartfelt performances week after week was immense, and not everyone could keep up. How long could this pace last before cracks began to show? Time itself posed another challenge. The child actors, the heart of the show, were growing up. Melissa Gilbert, who played Laura, was no longer the wide-eyed girl racing through the prairie. By season 6, she was a young woman, married to Almanzo Wilder, played by Dean Butler, NBC insider. Mary Ingalls, played by Melissa Sue Anderson, had moved on, and new characters filled the gaps. The show tried to adapt, even rebranding as Little House, a new beginning in 1982, to focus on Laura and Almanzo's family, Wikipedia. But some fans missed the early days, when the Ingalls' simple struggles felt universal. Ratings, once soaring at 7th in Season 4, slipped to 28th by Season 9, as shown in the chart above. The shift in focus, combined with a changing TV landscape, left some viewers drifting away. Could Little House recapture its original magic? Landon's personal life added another layer of complexity. His marriage to Lynn No unraveled, ending in a divorce that made headlines in 1982. Wikipedia. The emotional weight of this upheaval seemed to bleed into the show. Later episodes tackled darker themes: grief, addiction, injustice, with a rawness that mirrored Landon's own struggles. Episodes like May We Make Them Proud, which dealt with loss and moral dilemmas, felt heavier, more introspective. Screen Rant. It was as if Landon was pouring his heart into the scripts, making Little House a canvas for both pioneer life and personal pain. Did these darker tones reflect a man grappling with his own challenges? Despite these hurdles, Landon's love for Little House never wavered. When NBC signaled the end was near, he refused to let the network have the final word. He had poured nearly a decade into this show, shaping every episode with his vision of family and resilience. The idea of a quiet fade-out was unacceptable. Instead, he planned a finale that would sear itself into viewers' memories, a bold, shocking statement that would ensure Little House's legacy. In 1984, he delivered Little House: The Last Farewell, a TV movie that aired on February 6th, IMDb. The people of Walnut Grove faced a threat to their town from a wealthy outsider. Rather than surrender, they made a staggering choice to destroy their homes, their church, their entire community. Viewers watched in disbelief as the town they loved was reduced to rubble. Why would Landon choose such a drastic end? This wasn't just about storytelling. Landon's decision was deeply personal. He wanted to protect Little House from future reboots or spin-offs that might dilute its message. By demolishing Walnut Grove, both in the story and in real life at Big Sky Ranch, he ensured no one could resurrect the show without confronting that powerful ending, Quora. The set's destruction was practical too. It was slated for removal anyway. But Landon turned it into a symbol, a final act of defiance against NBC's impersonal cancellation. Melissa Gilbert later shared that Landon was furious at the network's lack of direct communication about the show's end, fueling his resolve to make the finale unforgettable. People. Was this a creative masterstroke or a personal stand? The legacy of Little House endures, with fans still drawn to its timeless values. As Karen Grassel noted in 2024, people find comfort in its simple human decency. ABC News. But the road to that explosive finale was paved with challenges, creative, personal, and professional. What drove Landon to make such a bold choice, and how did it shape the show's place in history? The winds of change swept across the prairie, carrying whispers of an ending that would echo through television history. Michael Landon, the soul behind Little House on the Prairie, stood at a crossroads. After 9 seasons, the show had become a beacon of hope and family values. But Landon sensed a shift. Could he let others reshape the story he'd poured his heart into, or would he choose to end it on his own terms? This final chapter unravels the bold decisions, personal trials, and enduring legacy of a man who dared to protect his vision. Landon's resolve was unshakable. When NBC proposed continuing the series as Little House: A New Beginning, focusing on Laura and Almanzo without his guiding hand, he recoiled. In candid conversations with outlets like People magazine, he shared his fears. A new team might strip the show of its warmth, turning it into a hollow echo of its former self. To let someone else take the reins would feel like abandoning the family we built, he confided. His solution was radical yet resolute. He returned for the TV movie The Last Farewell, not just to reprise Charles Ingalls, but to ensure the story ended definitively. Why choose such a dramatic closure? The answer lies in his unwavering commitment to the audience's trust. The Last Farewell was a masterstroke of storytelling, a poignant goodbye that left no room for reinterpretation. Airing in 1984, it saw Walnut Grove face a heart-wrenching fate, a metaphor for Landon's determination to shield the show from future tampering. In a TV Guide interview, he declared, "I chose to dismantle the town to preserve its soul. This wasn't mere spectacle, it was a safeguard." By closing the chapter himself, Landon ensured Little House would remain a timeless relic, untouched by the era of reboots. Did this bold move resonate with fans, or did it spark debate? The answer unfolds in the show's enduring afterlife. The weight of 9 years had left Landon weary, a toll few could fathom. Directing, producing, and starring in Little House demanded everything: mind, body, and spirit. He later admitted he hadn't anticipated the show's longevity, a testament to its unexpected grip on viewers. Yet, exhaustion was only part of his story. In April 1991, a devastating diagnosis changed everything. Pancreatic cancer, already advanced, had spread to his liver. The news stunned fans who saw Landon as the embodiment of vitality. What drove him to face this challenge publicly? His courage shone through in a televised appearance, where he spoke with raw honesty, vowing to fight. "This isn't the end," he said, words that stirred millions. Landon's final months were a quiet contrast to his vibrant career. Retreating to his Malibu home, he surrounded himself with his wife Cindy and their children. Friends recalled his enduring warmth, how he smiled through pain, offering love until the end. On July 1st, 1991, at just 54, he passed, leaving a void felt far beyond Hollywood. The outpouring of grief was profound. Viewers mourned not just an actor, but a figure who felt like family. Yet, his departure marked not an end, but a new chapter for Little House. How did a show from the 1970s continue to thrive decades later? The Prairie's call endures, drawing new generations to Walnut Grove. Since its 1984 finale, Little House on the Prairie has never faded. Reruns on Hallmark, UPTV, and streaming platforms like Peacock and Amazon Prime attract millions annually, with TV Insider reporting consistent viewership. Its simplicity, no flashy effects, just heartfelt stories, resonates in a world craving authenticity. Fans flock to sites like De Smet, South Dakota, and attend festivals celebrating Laura Ingalls Wilder's legacy. The show's influence extends to books, stage plays, and memoirs like Melissa Gilbert's Back to the Prairie, which details her journey from child star to advocate. What makes this show timeless? The cast's lives reflect the show's profound impact. Melissa Gilbert, forever Laura, embraced a quieter life in the Catskills, echoing the show's values. Karen Grassel, Ma Ingalls, returned to theater and penned a memoir, while Allison Arngrim, the mischievous Nellie Oleson, found new purpose in comedy and advocacy. Melissa Sue Anderson, Mary Ingalls, chose family over fame, settling in Canada. Their stories, shared in interviews with Southern Living and People, reveal how Little House shaped their paths. The show's accolades, 17 Emmy nominations, 4 wins, and 3 Golden Globe nods, cement its industry respect. But its true power lies in its emotional resonance. Landon's creative spirit didn't end with Little House. He poured his heart into Highway to Heaven, a series about compassion and redemption, airing from 1984 to 1989. His co-stars, like Dean Butler, lamented that Landon's genius was underappreciated in his lifetime. Yet, his influence endures, untouched by the reboot frenzy. Why does Little House resist reimagining? Landon's definitive ending ensured its purity, a choice that feels prophetic in today's remake-saturated landscape. Landon's financial acumen matched his creative prowess. His net worth, estimated at $40 million in 1991, roughly $90 million today, reflected a life of luxury. He owned a Malibu estate, drove a Rolls-Royce and Mercedes-Benz, and wore Rolex watches, symbols of his Hollywood stature. As a producer and director, he secured multiple income streams, from Little House to Highway to Heaven. His real estate investments, hinted at by his children's careers in luxury properties, showcased his foresight. Landon's generosity ensured his family's security, with his 9 children inheriting his values of hard work. A key lesson: diversify talents to build lasting wealth. Did his financial choices mirror his on-screen wisdom? The Prairie's legacy is more than nostalgia. It's a mirror for what matters. Little House on the Prairie taught resilience, love, and faith, lessons that echo today. Landon's bold choice to end it his way preserved its soul, a decision that sparks debate. Was destroying Walnut Grove the right farewell, or could the story have continued? His passing at 54 left questions unanswered, but his work speaks louder than ever. As new generations discover the Ingalls family, one question lingers: what makes a story eternal? In the end, Michael Landon's bold choice to end Little House on the Prairie with a bang ensured its legacy would shine forever, a beacon of family, faith, and resilience. His spirit lives on in every episode that still warms hearts today. As Melissa Gilbert shared at his funeral, Landon's words linger. "Remember me with smiles and laughter. for that is how I will remember you. If the Ingalls story touched you, drop your thoughts below. How has Little House shaped your life? Like and subscribe for more tales of TV's golden era. Next, we'll uncover another classic that changed the game. Keep the Prairie spirit alive in your heart.